Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Hello. Sorry about my computer. My hinges are breaking.
Why you got to tease me with that body right before we start the show? You know, like.
Sorry about that.
Pardon me while I mute my phone so it's not going off as people try to text me during the show. Holy crap! There's all kinds of people in the chat.
You're very important.
Hey, look at that! Jonathan even showed up to see you tonight.
Jonathan who?
The fish guy.
Oh, him. That guy.
So, Happy New Year to everybody. I know it's 26 days after, but it still is since it's the first time we saw you. Everybody's still in one piece, hopefully. Nico looks way better than the last time I saw him on camera. When you were down at the show.
Cleaned myself up.
Yeah. I was a little bit concerned when I saw you. I'm like, you're looking kind of rough.
Yeah. It's been a rough couple of weeks.
I'm glad you're doing better.
Yes.
Let's see here. So, our guest tonight is going to be Matt Abrue. I'm going to probably say it wrong. Matt Abrue. You can correct me if I got that wrong, but for the 2025 NGRC, we got a little bit of news and updates and that before he comes on. So we'll go ahead and play our sponsor video for our wonderful, wonderful sponsor, Splitjaw, and we'll be right back.
The following episode of Large Scale Live is brought to you by Splitjaw, makers of quality metal products for the G-scale modeling world. For rail clamps, expansion joints, bridges, and more, Splitjaw Products has you covered. For more information, visit their website at www.railclamp.com.
Perfect timing.
I wasn't looking at the screen and you blew your nose. I'm like, what the heck was that sound? That doesn't sound like it's part
I was trying to get it done before you came back, but I didn't make it.
At least you're not Dackman waking up, from the video. I miss Dackman. Not in place of you. I mean, I just in general. Just so we're clear on that, everybody. All right. So, of course, there are some shows coming up this year.
Multiple shows coming up this year.
Multiple shows. There's probably going to be some that I don't have listed on here. And if I don't, I'll leave that to you fine viewers to head on over to our website where you can go to the event section. And there's an event submission form here. So as long as it's, primarily G-scale focused, or I'm even down for if, you're a G-scale club and you're going to be set up with your layout at an all-scale show, if you want to put that on our calendar. What the heck are you doing?
The hinges. I'm just adjusting.
And you want to put it on our calendar so people come out and see you at the show, please do so. But the first thing, obviously, I have on there is May 3rd and 4th is the Northeast Large-Scale Train Show. You will see Nico there. You will not see me there this year, unfortunately, but I hope to make a return next year. And then, of course, after that, the very next weekend, what's taken up a lot of our time is the Great Lakes Large Scale Train Expo that we're going to have here in Ohio, Girard, Ohio, actually. I do have a couple updates for that. And of course, after that,
Modeling contest is open.
yes, that is open. Of course, what our guest is going to be talking about tonight is going to be the 40th National Garden Railway Convention, June 18th to the 22nd. And the last thing I have on here is July 13th to the 18th, which is going to be the big train operators convention in Helen, Georgia, which I'm really looking forward to. It's always a good time. So,
It's my dog.
nice. I hear that. Say, I don't think we have sound effects in the budget. Let's see here. What's this? Steve Dom says Nico is in the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
No, we can't play that music. I don't have the copyrights for it. Let me see here. So, what did I have to show here? Let's see. So, yesterday at the Railroad Hobby Show up in Massachusetts, same place where the Northeast show is held at, Bachman did announce on the Dash 9s that they're going to do a new run of them. Now, I don't know if that means they're going to be out this year or next, but they're doing NS, Union Pacific, Southern Pacific, CSX, Canadian National, and BNSF, all in 2 cab numbers for each. This is just their artist renderings. Obviously, there's not any samples to look at yet.
They're doing a flag one again? Union Pacific flag?
You know, I honestly don't know. Is that what they did, was the flag the first time?
Yep.
Okay. The NS, though, are actually the standard paint scheme, not the Operation Lifesaver like the first time.
Yay.
Let's see.
Southern Pacific is new. That's good.
Yeah, that's new. The Canadian Nationals actually look pretty nice. Just keep growing on me.
Yep.
Now, something to mention, because these were announced last year and got canceled. If you head on over to the website and look at this, I do have embedded the announcement video from Bachman. They do specify that these are not a preliminary announcement like they were last time when they got canceled due to
lack of
pre-orders. So what I take from that is obviously everything's subject to change, but they're saying, yes, we're making these. These aren't dependent on pre-order numbers. So we shall see.
I like that paint scheme, the CSX.
The CSX, yeah, that's a nice scheme.
I have 2 Dash 9s in that already. Maybe I'll have to add 2 more.
I don't have it up on the website yet, but got too many dang folders open here again. Bachman did mention one other thing, which was they were doing 2 paint schemes, 2 new paint schemes in the speeders, which I should have there. Looks like Milwaukee Road and Baltimore and Ohio.
Nice.
I'm trying to think if there was any other new products out there. I know there was an announcement from LGB. I think they're doing a Shea, if I remember correctly, but I don't have any info on that at the moment.
That's the LGB?
I think it was LGB that was doing that.
Yeah.
I get kind of concerned when I read Larry Otis's comments in the chat.
And Ken Miller is having an issue. He said it keeps telling him to sign in. He can't get in.
Keeps telling him to sign in.
Yeah. I don't know what that, I guess on YouTube.
I mean, if he wants to jump over to Facebook, he should be able to get right in over there. I'm not sure why he's getting a message saying to sign in. Let's see here.
See, we care about each individual watcher on this show.
We do. I feel like we should have like a behind the scenes like tech desk though that they could call into. Like, hey, I'm having trouble getting signed in. Operators are standing by. Let's see. Did I have any other thing for new products? No, I did not. The only other thing I had was an update on our Great Lakes Large Scale Train Expo. We do have the official vendors list.
Oh, we had a question too here. Once you're done with that, you could show how you entered the modeling contest as well.
All right. So this list is as of today, because I added another vendor to it. I want to say we have, what did I say? We are at 28 vendors and 5 clubs right now. And I'm actually pretty happy with the turnout of vendors we've had thus far.
Yeah.
A lot of names on there that people recognize, or some that they don't, which is great. We like to see new people show up.
We got to also remember some of the people on here are 7.5 scale ride-on.
Yes, there are. Let's see. Accutai, that's up at the top, is 7.5. And where is it at? Love on Rails is a, well, he actually does G and 7.5, but so I guess he covers both of those. No, Lariota's not that kind of Love on Rails, because I know you're wondering. And then,
Is
of course,
Larry going to be coming and seeing us in Ohio?
He told me last night when he called me that he was going to try and make it.
What do you mean try?
Well, he's going to try, I guess. I don't know. And of course, the Lakeshore Garden Railway Club, Susquehanna Valley Garden Railway Society, and the Columbus Garden Railway Society are going to be our 3 clubs so far that are setting up layouts. Big Train Operators Club will be there to promote the club, and the Central Ohio Area Live Steamers, or COLS, is actually the 7.5-inch gauge club that is out of Coshocton, Ohio. I'm not sure. I know they're going to at least have a table to promote the club, but I'm not sure if they're bringing anything else with them yet or not. So stay tuned for updates, which you can find by signing up for our newsletter that's over on the website at greatlakestrainexpo.com. So what was the question you had there, Nico?
They wanted to see how to enter the modeling contest.
Oh, well, okay.
And to answer Engine Yard's question, it's in Girard, Ohio.
Yep. Girard, Ohio at the Metroplex.
And Ken Miller has entered the building.
And there's your email newsletter that pops up if you'd like to sign up for it when you go to the page. How to enter the modeling contest? Well, now you got me wondering if I added that to the website. I know I created the form for it.
You did, and you told me it was up there.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember now.
Scroll down. Scroll down.
Well, this is for the newsletter, but I'm wondering if I included it in the newsletter update. Let me see here. Nope, not that one.
No wonder why nobody signed up. You buried it.
Yeah. It's in the newsletter, but not on the main part of the website yet. So yeah, so when you go into that first newsletter and scroll down through the updates, there's the announcement for the modeling contest and the registration form for it. So yeah, I will make a note of that right now.
You gonna make that a little more visible?
Yeah. How's that?
No, I'm saying make it more visible on the website.
Oh! I think you meant on the screen. I'm like, okay, I can make it bigger. Yeah, look at my pen out here. I'm making a note.
So you don't have to click and then drive down and click and.
That's what I was saying. I'm making a note to do it after the live stream. Or I can stop and update the website now. I mean,
Yeah, just
Yeah, we'll do a live website update. I don't think people want to see that.
It is a good thing you asked, Kyle, because see what I got to deal with?
Yeah. Hey, Kyle, ask Nico where he was at until right before the live stream started.
I was eating dinner. You could blame my wife.
We would never blame your wife. That would just be a terrible thing for us to do.
Yeah. So
we
have the days. I guess Bill was asking what days or day. What day
for
is?
the May
9th and 10th.
He's asking for the Great Lakes. Yeah,
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, May. Well, I'm just making sure because we do have another topic on the show this week.
Yes.
Yeah, May 9th and 10th. I'll go back to the main page here. Which, by the way, if you're a prospective vendor, if you pay in full by the 31st of the month, you get 10% off your registration. Yeah. Where do I have the dates listed? Oh, right here. I need to make that a different color.
Yep.
Friday, May 9th and Saturday, May 10th are the dates.
And that answers Tia's question. It is not one day. It is 2 days, Friday and Saturday.
And then for other questions, if you click on attending the show, we do have the location listed there in Girard, Ohio. We got info for vendors and exhibitors, and I do have a list of the hotels that are within 4 to 5 minutes of the venue.
Yes, you cannot blame Train Mom.
Yeah, yeah. We would never. That'd be like, we couldn't do that. So, but yeah.
I tried. It never works in my favor.
Were there any other questions in there that we needed to address?
Not that I saw. There was just some going back and forth. There's some conversations going on.
I'm just double checking too to make sure I didn't miss something, but no, I think that's it. Did you have anything that I was unaware of that you needed to make announcements about, Nico?
Nope, I don't have anything new this time, unfortunately.
Okay, just double checking. Did the blocking thing. All right, well, I'll tell you what, we will take a word from our sponsor, Me Love Trains, and then we'll be back with our guest, Matt Abrue, when he can tell me if I'm saying his last name right or not, because I can't remember. Apologies if I am.
Slaughtered it.
Without further ado, here's our guest. Matt, am I saying the last name right?
You are.
Oh my God, I got it right.
There's a first time for everything.
So used to slaughtering last names. So I don't know where it's at in the chat, but Jonathan Straczynski, you were asking who Matt Abrue was. This is who Matt Abrue is.
Thanks for having me, guys.
So Larry sent pictures of the LGB Shay. Maybe they had it there on.
Oh, okay.
I emailed you pictures of it just now while I was in the waiting area too, Andrew.
Oh, okay. Well, let me see if I see it real quick, and I'll look for it while we're moving along here.
And Jonathan, I'm not going to hold up this show with the modeling contest, but maybe we should cover that on the beginning of the next show. You look dumbfounded.
Ooh, you talking to me? I'm downloading a couple pictures as we're moving along. Larry was nice enough to send them to us.
I don't know if you heard what I said while you were
about the modeling contest.
Yes,
covering at the beginning of the next show. Yeah, it sounds like a winner to me.
Okay. And Russell said Matt's in the house.
Hi, Ross.
Steve, what's up, good sir?
Where the heck did this go? So I guess if I put this back up here, and
apparently Matt has the coolest traveling layout.
So, okay, that's like not even.
That's a pre-production prototype.
Pre-production. Wow.
And then the ones I sent was the painted one. So.
Oh, you do have the painted one. All right, let me see if I see that real quick.
And yes, Steve, they have pictures of it. I'm sure Andrew will put on the screen at some point.
What was it? What was the question?
The Wandering Railway.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I have tons of pictures. I'm not sure which ones we're talking about, though. Let's see.
Maybe you want to add what the closest airports are to the show as well on the website.
Make a note. However, I will mention as I'm talking about it, the closest airport is the Akron-Canton Regional Airport, which I believe is about I think 40 minutes away. And then the next two closest are Cleveland and Pittsburgh, which are both about an hour or less away. I think Cleveland might be a little bit closer, maybe like 50 minutes. Pittsburgh might be 55 minutes, I think.
Okay. No, I just want to answer that question.
But yeah, I'll definitely add that to the website. Let's see, where did that picture go? I just downloaded it. There it is. All right, and there's what Matt sent me. Ooh. Now, is this going to be like a brass model, or
They are just saying a high quality metal model. They haven't said a type of material.
okay? But it's not going to be injection molded then. Okay.
But then Tal sent me a picture of one. They did one with Aster at one point.
In the 90s.
Yeah, I'm just saying that they've already done this once.
Hey, look at that. Our friend Turk just signed up for the newsletter updates on the website. Welcome aboard, Turk. Finally. So yeah, that looks like it's going to be pretty nice.
Yeah, I wish they would have done something different, but that's my opinion.
We all have them.
Yes, we do.
So, moving on
to Matt here.
Let's talk about Matt.
Let's talk about
Matt. So, what possessed you to be the chairman for the NGRC this year, Matt?
I was selected. Yeah. No, so Sacramento did the last convention in 2003. There was talks about doing another one in Sacramento, and everybody asked who would be the chairman, and everybody kind of pointed at me.
I know how that works.
And I didn't say no.
Yeah.
That was your first problem.
But as of other things that I do in the hobby, the Wandering Railway, other conventions, other PR stuff, it's a fitting role, kind of like what you guys are doing in the same aspect.
Yeah. It fit in, right? It fit in with what you do. So let me ask you a question before we even get into that. What got you into G-Scale? I always like to see where people...
My parents bought me an LGB starter set for Christmas, and it all went either downhill or uphill from there, whichever way you want to look at it.
So were you in another scale at the time, or were you interested in trains, or is that just where you started? And
just what I started at 4 years old with an LGB starter set from, I believe, Train World, or one of them. Yeah.
Hey. So I got several things here for you, Matt. What would you like to go over with people first, I guess?
Let's start with the convention, the big guy in the room. 18th through the 22nd of June, the Garden Railway Convention will be in Sacramento this year. You should have there's the logo. You should have a postcard too.
Let's see. That
one.
Yep, that is what I got.
So we are doing a vendor hall. We are doing the banquet at the California State Railroad Museum after hours. So the museum will be strictly for attendees of the banquet. That's where the keynote speaker will be, and all the other fun stuff that goes with the banquet, door prizes, raffle, all that stuff.
And of course, there's the official website, ngrc2025.org.
So this is a Wednesday through a Sunday.
Sunday, correct.
Yep. I was just looking up what the time frame was.
So we are doing a couple things different. We aren't doing the standard convention hotel layout because there has been numerous complaints about it over the years of either picking too expensive of a hotel that some people can't afford, or picking a hotel that doesn't use their Marriott's points, or picking a hotel that just doesn't work for some people for whatever reason. So on the website, there will be is a list of hotels and their proximity to the convention center. So our clinics, our bus tours, and everything will be home-based out of the convention center instead of a hotel.
I'm glad to hear, by the way, you're going to be doing bus tours. That's always nice to get around to the layouts.
Yeah, we are doing buses. There are some confusion because we haven't listed prices for the bus tours online, because historically with bus tours, they are always one of the hardest things to orchestrate because you don't know how many people are going to want them. We don't know some of our layouts we can't hit with the buses just because of the Northern California roads, just can't turn them around. So we're trying to use smaller buses, 20 seaters, something along those lines that could try to get to the vast majority of the layouts. But if we only have 8 people that sign up for buses, we don't need a 50-seat bus. But if we have 30 people, I mean, it's all dollar for dollar on the bus aspect. The other thing we are trying to promote is ride sharing. And I don't mean it in the terms of Uber, Lyft, all that stuff. But if you have a car and 2 free seats in the back seat, make some train friends and ride along with them looking at layouts instead of necessarily having to be on a bus.
That's one of the questions that just popped up. Can you drive yourself if you want to?
Absolutely.
So is there a cost if you drive yourself as opposed to going on the bus?
Nope.
Okay.
The cost of driving yourself is part of the cost of attending the convention, because you will get a program with all of the layouts and the maps, and that is free as part of the registration for the convention.
Cool.
No, Jim, the convention center parking is not included unless you're at one of the hotels in the area that have parking because of the hotels. It's Sacramento.
So you gotta pay, huh?
Correct.
You got to pay to play.
There are some things I tried. I got some parking at the Railroad Museum that will be included in one of our packages, but unfortunately, I'm still dealing with the capital city and have to play with their games.
So is this like in the center of Sacramento?
Basically, it's downtown Sacramento. It's 2 blocks from the convention, or it's 2 blocks from the state capitol, basically.
Okay.
Nope. The cost of driving your...
What was that?
What was what?
I don't know. There was like an echo.
I just was thinking the same thing. I thought I heard a voice in my head.
Well, I mean, you know, we're all prone to that, I guess. Mine kind of sounds like Larry Otis, unfortunately.
But yeah, if you happen to have a minivan or a car and it's just a husband and a wife and the whole back seat's open, make some friends, ride around, save gas, split it, instead of sitting on a bus the whole time.
Nope. Sorry, I clicked on the wrong one.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Matt will pick you up in his 6-door Ford truck.
Yeah, well, I've got that too. I'm not sure who that is, but okay. And how that hobby has got into this hobby, but okay.
All of our hobbies collide at some point.
Yeah.
So I guess you have a mega dually or something?
I have a 6-door truck that seats 7 with an 8-foot bed.
Oh, okay.
Boy, that's got to be fun, taking around some tight California roads.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying, like,
people move out of my way. It's great. He who has the most lug nuts wins.
He who has the most lug. I like that. That's a good saying.
So,
Andrew, Larry just crossed you out of his notebook. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but
Why do I envision it being like that scene from that Adam Sandler movie and he puts lipstick on afterwards? It feels very creepy. Sorry, don't mind me, Matt.
back to the convention.
If you've never met Larry Otis, everybody needs to do it at least once in their life. I recommend it.
Matt probably met him up at Massachusetts last year.
Oh, yeah, he may have.
I met a lot of people.
Looks like a big white, furry Yeti.
So yeah, and then the other thing, back to the hotel situation. A lot of people recommended RV parks because this hobby has got a number of retired individuals that have motorhomes that just wants to take their motorhome to the convention and stay out of that. So we've included RV parks as well.
I'm glad you said that, because that was something somebody else mentioned to me for our show, and I'm making a note to add that to our list. I didn't realize how many people actually were interested in going to an RV park. So yeah.
Well, it makes
because
sense.
they're going to make
yeah.
a vacation out of it by driving across the country or whatever, attended, and then continue on other landmarks on the way home.
Larry, now it charges for meetings, just so you know. I hope you don't quit your day job, Larry. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say we met you and your dad for the first time last year at the Northeast show in Massachusetts, Matt, if I remember correctly.
Yep, we did the Northeast last year as kind of PR for the convention, and we also did Atlanta last year for PR for the convention.
And I think actually that might be what the picture is you sent me is maybe from your setup in Atlanta.
If it's the tablecloth, I'll see which one you're putting up. Yes, that's Atlanta.
And I'm pretty sure this person in the blue shirt in the background, I know who that is.
I know who that is too, and I'm pretty sure she just said hi to me a couple of comments ago too.
Yep.
All I have to see is the bottom edge of the curly hair and the blue shirt there, and I'm like, I know who.
And she says she's attending, but she hasn't registered yet. Hint, hint.
It's funny how people do that, right?
Yeah. So, since you have that picture up, a couple of things. The first box car is the convention car we're doing. It is an AML box car, and then the other thing with a retail of $100 at the convention. There we go. Couple of simple tweaks that are going to be done on that, but that's 95% what it's going to look like. Just your PS1 box car.
And what'd you say the price is going to be on that?
$100
That isn't too shabby.
with metal wheels.
With metal wheels, full size car. Very nice.
And then the other thing we did this year that got more attention than we thought it was going to do is we did a GP. We did an engine, which is over my shoulder also. But it was more or less a joke. And then we did the rendering. I had my graphic designer do the rendering, who is also the keynote speaker at our banquet, and started sending it out to people. And it's about time somebody does a convention engine. So I started talking to Bing, 129th Zachary, not 120.3.
Oh yeah,
The AML. It's the AML line.
Yeah. Steve's got it, 129.
So Bing said he could do a limited number of the engines. The prices were right, and we said go.
And if I remember seeing the price on your website, like there really isn't like a premium price attached to it for being a special run. Like
I am cheaper than every other GP60 on the market, MSRP.
Seriously, wow.
Because everything else I'm seeing $649, I'm at $599.
Well, heck.
So if you want one to repaint it, buy it from me, and the money will go towards the convention.
Well, I have to imagine, though, to be able to purchase these, you do have to register for the convention, right?
You do not. I have a couple of people that are just wanting to buy engines, and we will ship them at what the shipping cost will be.
Okay, good deal.
There you go.
Oh, Taya says she is coming.
Yes, Ken, there will be an engine in the door prizes.
An engine in the door prizes. Sweet.
Yeah. That was another question. You're doing good. You're reading the questions before I can even get them up.
Quick, what are the next winning lottery numbers?
So, the banquets I mentioned at the Railroad Museum. So from 6 to 10, after the museum closes at 5, the only people that will be in the museum and have access to the museum are convention attendees that are attending the banquet.
Okay.
At $60 a head for the banquet, and when you take off the $18 or whatever the museum charges to get in normally, it's not that bad a deal.
So what is what's going on day by day? Or
so Wednesday is layout tour. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or 18th Thursday are layout tours. And the ice cream socials the first night on Thursday, the banquets on Friday. So it's the classic ice cream social on Thursday.
Nice.
And then that's when the vendor hall opens, is after the ice cream social. And if you attend the ice cream social, you will get early access into the vendor hall.
Maybe I need to plan a work trip out to Sacramento.
You really should, Nico. In June.
I mean, if it's for 4-track, isn't it technically a work trip anyway?
Yeah, I mean, John is asking what clinics are available.
So we are still going through that. We've got some in the working stages. We're doing one on photography. We're doing one on weathering. And then introduction to live steam will be another one. We are still searching out people for clinics to try to do ones that are different than your normal convention type clinics. And one of the biggest ones I've got is how to photograph your layout to make it look good. So we're going to do one on photography for sure.
Nice.
That's not one I would have thought of, but it's one I'm actually very intrigued by.
Yeah, that's a good one.
With lighting and angles and so on and so forth. And then I think you have a picture of our keynote speaker, correct, in the bio?
You did? Let's see. That?
So Brett Iwan is our keynote speaker. He is the official voice of Mickey for Disney. You have the write-up to put up as well, Andrew?
Where did that go? Give me a moment. I'll find it here. I thought it downloaded, but I don't see it in my folder.
Okay, so keynote speakers, Brett. He's the official voice of Mickey for Disney. He is also building an 18-inch live steam railway. That's his engine behind him. He has been an engineer at Knott's Berry Farm, and he is worked at the Ely Railway up in Nevada as well. So he's a train guy and a Disney guy.
Okay. I found it. Give me 1 second. Apologize, Matt. I thought it downloaded.
Dun, dun, dun.
I need to get some intense music to play when I'm looking for stuff. There we go. That's what you wanted.
To answer your question, Steve, Brett is also the graphic designer that created the convention logo, the box cart, and the locomotive for us. So he's done all the graphic design work.
Nice. Is he involved in your club as well, or?
His dad and 2 brothers are included, or part of our club.
Cool. Is he gonna speak in Mickey Mouse's voice the whole time, or?
I don't want to pay for that much.
Yeah, I'm thinking there might be some fees and royalties involved in that.
Yeah. But it's more of, yes, he's going to go into the Disney side of things, but he's also going to go into building a live steam ride on 18-inch railway as well. And working on Colorado narrow gauge.
See, Bill Lynch had a comment there.
Yeah, that's on Revolution. It's in the settings. You just go into settings and shut it off.
Oh, okay. I didn't quite follow that. Now I see.
If you want, I could show you next time really quick. I
thought it was a more in-depth thing. Not that there's anything wrong with that question.
Yeah, you could turn it off. It's in the settings.
So we're proud that Brett was willing to do it. He's a good speaker, and he laces everything from Disney to trains to railroading to his history all into one.
Very nice. Trying to read his little bio here. That's cool. And he's going to be at the dinner?
He's going to be at the banquet.
Yes.
Yep. And then he may do some stuff at the vendor hall as well. We're working on other ways to include him. But yes, and we're not sure if his layout's going to be open or not that he's building. We're still trying to figure out the details on that.
That's 18 inches, pretty big railroad. That's some serious equipment.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like I look at 7.5-inch gauge and think, that's kind of large stuff to play
That's
with. Yeah.
that's like G scale to this.
Yeah. Dang.
Oh, Bill said he knows how to do it. He just was saying that people don't do it, and he hears the beaping in the film.
Oh.
So
well,
if anybody has recommendations on clinics they would like to see or have or want to give a clinic that are coming to the convention, they can contact us. We're open to ideas. Your number one sponsor, Dave from Splitjaw, is doing a clinic
Oh, really?
on continuity. So he's tagged in.
That's cool. Is he going to do stuff on the bridges too, or just on
So his clinic is going to be, like I said, on continuity. And nothing against Dave, nothing against Splitjaw. I mean, I was just wanting it more than just, this is why you should buy Splitjaw rail clamps, to be let's loop everything together. And when he said the whole continuity thing, it kind of clicked.
Ah. Yeah, he knows quite a bit about electrical and electrical connectors and everything.
Instead of just an infomercial on buying Splitjaw rail clamps.
There you go. There's some suggestions.
I was just looking at those.
Tree making. It takes a while to grow those.
People that do indoor, they make their own.
And that's one, we have a member in our club that makes trees out of branches and fake greenery, and we've thrown that idea around, but depending on which part of the coast you're on, they'll hold up better than others.
Larry wants you to have one on how a Yeti keeps its fur in check.
Is he gonna do it?
Sure.
I mean, if he's coming to our show, I expect him to do that. Well, you probably still don't know who Engine Yard is, but they said they're staying at your house if they come, Matt.
I don't know who Engine Yard is. I think.
And is there a vendors list? Greg was asking.
So there is not a vendors list yet. Vendors are slowly registering. The same issue we've had at other conventions. They always trickle in late. As soon as they come, they will be updated onto the website. What I can say is we're pretty sure. Well, we know LGB, we know Bachman, we know AccuCrafter's coming. USA has told us they believe they will be coming. And Pico hasn't got back to us yet. So my biggest thing is, without the manufacturers, it's not a convention. It's just another train show. So we're trying hard to make sure that what I call the big five are in attendance.
And that can be a feat to tackle.
Yeah.
There's your hint on Engine Yard. It says talk to you 45 minutes ago. Now he's got to think about it. Steve Heaviside, I guess, is asking if you've talked to KD at all about coming.
They have. So everybody that was on last year's vendor list has been contacted, as well as some other ones that weren't. KD was one that we've reached out to. Ozark Miniatures is another one that we've reached out to because nobody seems to know what actually is going on with Ozark. So we've sent emails out, but like I said, they're coming back. They're just coming back slow.
That comment there, like, for some reason that sounds familiar. Like, I thought I saw someone was going to do that somewhere or talked about doing it.
What, setting up modular layouts?
Yeah.
Would that be a good introduction to how I got out of setting up modular layouts, Andrew?
Sure. I can tell you, I helped set one up 2-3 years in a row, and boy, that can be a real treat. depending on how it's constructed.
I mean, there's
And
usually
like Russ just said, and I mean, he knows from doing it last year. The West Coast is hard for getting vendors out.
well, you guys have. I mean, well, LGB's in the middle of the country. But,
Yeah, I have Pico closest, and they're the ones that are the hardest to get to come.
AML, right? AML's out there.
AccuCraft's in my backyard.
Yeah, that's what I meant. AccuCraft, sorry.
There is going to be a clinic on 3D printing, Zachary. That's the other one that we've tied up.
Ken says we need some new vendors. What do you mean by vendors? Because there's always people selling trains.
I feel like he's talking maybe manufacturers.
That's what I meant. That's why I was questioning it.
I think that's maybe what he's meaning. Russell Miller said Pico did show up in 2020.
Yeah, Jonathan came up for the day, but I was more referring to the fact that he didn't have a booth with product.
It looks like KD was at Amherst this weekend for the Railroad Hobby Show.
Yeah, they're usually at that one because it's all scale.
And that's the other thing that because we're doing so many public days, I don't want to say opening it up to all scales, but we are allowing some of the manufacturers, if they want to bring other scales to display for the public days, we're allowing that. And some of our vendors have asked, because of the public days and how much the public days brings in revenue for my vendors, sure, if you guys want to buy more booths, you can sell whatever you want. So for the public days, we will have other scales than just G scale, which has happened in the last couple as well.
Deckman's talking about the West Coast show at the Queen Mary. That's something I was never.
Oh, that ended in 2009 or something like that.
That was put on by LGB, right? LGB of America.
It wasn't put on by LGB, but they were right there. It was a big influence to it.
Yeah.
And then it moved to Ontario and lasted 2 years in Ontario and then got shut down.
It moved to Ontario, Canada?
Ontario, California.
There's Ontario, California. Okay. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, that seems like a long ways to move. So that makes sense.
Yes, Tia, there are going to be pre and post layout tours. The issue, because I've got, depending on where people are coming from, being Sacramento, I've got really 4 different directions people can come from. We are going to do some up in Reno, which is about 2 hours west, east, and then up the 5 corridor. So we are going to have pre and post in different vicinities, depending on which way you're coming in and which way you're going out to the convention.
Ooh. That Steve's latest comment there, pneumatics for G scale. I believe he's probably talking about like pneumatic switch throws and stuff.
Does anybody make them anymore?
I don't
think so. No.
Sunset Valley had them, right? Or Oregon, somebody made them.
I've seen a couple of people like source their own parts and build it themselves, but
I don't know. To me, seems a lot running all that hose everywhere.
Yeah.
If you can scroll up one comment to Russ's comment. Yes.
This one?
Down one.
Down one.
That one. Yes. There are some great layouts in Reno. And what we have mentioned to some people is if they're taking the train or if they're flying in, it may be a good idea to fly or take the train into Reno and then drive the 2 hours over Donner because of the scenery and the towns between Reno and Sacramento and hit the layouts up there doing that way as well.
There was also this one, Arduino uses for G scale.
I have had numerous people asking about Arduino. If somebody, yeah, I got one right up there. If somebody can recommend to me or is offering to do a clinic on that, I will be all ears. But as of right now, we don't have anybody techie or has experience in dealing with it. And Greg, your answer from Train Lee, yes, I have talked to them. I'm good friends with Holly McLean, one of the owners of Trainly. And one of their biggest issues is because they just have two people that run that business on a day-to-day is how can they take time away from their store to go to a convention? Because they basically are shutting their doors.
I can understand that.
They're thinking about it, but that's a lot of what I'm dealing with some of these mom and pops is they can do just the same amount of business, ship orders, do everything from home, and not have to travel.
Yep. I mean, it's expensive. It's expensive to travel, the hotel. I get it. I mean, we do it for a couple shows a year, and it ain't cheap. Yeah,
and I mean, Steve, you have my email. If you want to throw something out for Arduino and pneumatics, feel free to reach out to me.
I think Greg was saying that. I don't think anybody's talking about using Arduino as a decoder, but for other functions like lighting functions and things like that you could do with it.
Yeah, I just did a push button or had a push button made so I can run a train for 30 seconds and then it shuts off, which it's great for something like that, but I don't think you can do it on board.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I did that's what I'm using for the ditch lights for the Revo.
Yep. And yeah, I know they're in Reno. It's 2 hours, but their biggest thing is we've got 4 days of vendor hall. So plus a day there set up and a day home. I mean, you're shutting your doors for almost a week. So this is my backyard with the convention engine and the box car.
How did you get one before everybody else?
So part of I ordered them. Part of the thing with AccuCraft is they will do pre-production paint samples of all their custom runs before they will do a custom run.
Oh, nice.
So they actually did 3 of them. One stays in China. One was for me, and I don't actually ever know what happened to the third one, but that is what they will then compare the final production to.
And I guess that was the caboose is a convention caboose also, right?
So the caboose was a 93 one that us, Baggers, and Redwood Empire, when we did a joint convention, did. And my biggest thing was I've always loved that caboose. Numerous people over the years have said that's the best convention car that has ever been produced aesthetically. Actually have a couple of off paint ones that I was able to get out of LGB at the auction in off colors, not just the black. But my whole thing with the engine and the boxcar was complete the set, as I'm going to say, to make it all look like it goes together.
That's an LGB caboose, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. It's almost the 8 o'clock hour. Do you want to do a giveaway?
Yeah, we can do that. If you give me a moment to cue that up real quick.
Give you as many moments as you want.
As many moments as I want? Well,
yeah, sure.
That's like unlimited wishes, isn't it?
Yep, sure. Well, just from the little videos you showed there, it looks like you have a beautiful layout, and I'm assuming that's your backyard.
It is, and he should have other pictures and videos of my backyard as well.
Don't distract him right now. He's doing something else.
One track mind.
Yep.
Oh, there's multiple tracks in there. I just can't operate them all at the same time. Let's see here.
How long have you had that layout?
So that layout's 6 years old, I'm going to say.
Okay. Is that did you move? Is that why you did, or was it a rebuild or revamp, or
it was new for when I redid the backyard.
Okay.
Let's see.
It says Amtrak is right near everything if you want to take the train.
Yep, that's another option is you can take Amtrak to the Sacramento depot would be the closest depot. It's I would say walking distance to the convention center.
Let's see.
Is your layout going to be on the tour?
My layout will be on the tour. I was told I have no other choice.
So how are you going to run the convention and run your
You're going to have a full plate going there, aren't you?
Couple of platters, because I'm also going to have the Wandering Railway at the convention hall as well.
Oh, nice. So for our giveaway this evening, our gracious sponsor, David at Split Jaw, is offering up a 12-pack of clamps, direct to rail or over the joiner. You decide when you win. And if you would like to enter to win those, just enter #clamp in the live chat on Facebook or YouTube. And we'll come back around to the drawing for that here real shortly.
Jim is asking if...
Yeah, I was just going to ask you to bring that one up. Are you asking for vendors to ship in or for everything you want to buy to ship out?
Sounds like he's talking about shipping out.
I've heard of that being set up at other ones.
So we are looking at UPS Store to have a booth there, or FedEx or Sorts to be able to get the stuff you buy out. It's been done in the past.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what show I've heard that done at over on the East Coast. I'm trying to remember now.
I don't remember. I think at Amherst maybe.
So since you mentioned it, Matt, how about we take a look at some pictures of your Wandering Railway
Sure.
while we're letting people drop in for the giveaway. Because when I first saw it, I said, holy crap, what is that?
So back to that modular question. I got tired of setting up modulars. And to lead into this will be the keynote article in next month's GR News as well. So there will be a whole article on it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Is that a horse trailer?
It was a auto transport trailer is what it started as.
Okay.
So 2 tracks, got a figure 8 for the main line, and it's got a point-to-point.
That really zoomed in.
We were going for more of a showcase museum exhibit type thing where there's no line of sight from one window to the other to make you have to walk around it.
Ah, okay. And I'm guessing this is
That's the back.
That's the back of the trailer looking at.
So that's the down of the figure 8. So you can see what kind of grades I'm dealing with on the down.
Yeah. So, and there is glass all the way around it, correct?
Nope.
No,
all
it opens up and it's open. Okay.
Yep.
Even better.
And as Greg USA said, there's also a plethora of UPS stores in the downtown area with all the office buildings.
It's really nice.
As you move this about to different places, do you have a lot of things you have to fix, or does it ride pretty well?
So, like we were going over earlier, we've got about 8,000 miles that we have done. We've gone out to Denver. I'm going out to Cheyenne, Wyoming in May for Union Pacific. Actually invited us to go out there with some stuff for the 4014. But the trains come off the track. That little orange switcher that's behind the boxcar has a 4-inch drywall screw holding it down so it doesn't move. Everything that's on the sidings stay. The only thing that comes off are the moving trains. And then with some little bit of gravel and rock that gets loose. But like I said, 8,000 miles down, no major issues.
Wow. And I imagine you hooked that up to your 6-door Ford.
Absolutely not. I could.
When he hooks that up to his Ford, then it's 65 feet long.
No, I would be under legal. But no, I use one of my generic pickups.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of trailer to tow, but.
Well, it's probably lighter than having cars in there, right? It's mostly foam and.
9,600 pounds is what it looks like going down the road, or what it weighs going down the road.
Now, like, do you have underneath, like, the layout area, do you got storage built in for stuff?
Correct. So the layout is built about 16 inches above the deck. So you can crawl in there for electrical storage, so on. If you go back to that picture on the back side,
On the back side, let's see. That one?
So the door on the left is a 6 foot, 8 foot long drawer that pulls out. And then the one on the right is where I put folding chairs and stuff to allow me to be able to crawl in to access it.
So how long did it take you to construct this whole thing?
About 4 years.
Okay.
Is it a brass track in there? And
It is. It's either Pico or LGB Flex.
Okay.
It's got about 70 feet of track on the main line. I overkilled it and have power going to it in 4 different spots. Because my biggest
track power then. Okay.
This is completely track power, even though I'm the biggest advocate of dead rail out there. But when I go to a show, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever, I want to be able to put the same engine on the track, and that same engine is going to be running Sunday night. And the only way I can do that reliably is with track power.
Okay.
And that's how the automated point-to-points with the throwing of the switches all works, is because of track power. Sure, Ken, you pay the fuel, I'll come to Nashville.
Yeah, that probably adds up a little bit, huh?
And if you look up Wandering Railway on YouTube, there's several videos. I can't take credit for any of them, but there's videos.
Russell says it's very impressive. You see it, you love it.
Was this set up at the NGRC last year?
Yes, it was during Colin's walkthrough, I'm guessing.
Yes, I'm remembering now.
And if you're listening, Colin, why are you calling me?
I just want to talk.
And don't let him fool you with, I didn't realize there was a live stream going on tonight. He's well aware of it.
So this will also be at the convention, as well as Del Oro Pacific G-scale layout out of Southern California, and the Diablo Pacific short line out of the Bay Area are the 2 modulars that are so far tapped for the convention.
Okay.
Nice. It's beautiful work you got there.
Thank you.
Let me switch here to put up the giveaway stuff so that we can do that. Let's see. I'm trying to think what the other pictures were. All the McDonald's layout were the other pictures.
Do you have any pictures of my backyard or videos?
Just the 2 videos of the engine that you sent.
I didn't send you any other video. Okay.
The McDonald's layout, is that the McDonald's that has all the LGB trains in it?
The McDonald's that used to have all the LGB trains in it, yes.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
That's gone, I guess.
Yeah, so I got wind, Buena Park, California, next door to Knott's Berry Farm. There was a McDonald's that had a G-scale layout in the lobby and G-scale overheads in it. And I got wind. Are we stopping for the giveaway?
You can go ahead for a moment if you want.
Go ahead, do this.
Okay. All right, we'll see who the lucky winner is going to be tonight. As always, it's not going to be Nico.
No. Never is. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
All right. Oh, it went past Rachel. Gabriel Murphy is our lucky winner. Wow. If you could, shoot me an email, and I will put it on the screen here. info@largescaletrains.com. Please give me your course name, mailing address, and whether you want direct to rail or over the joiner clamps. And I will get that off to David at Split Jaw, and he will ship those off to you.
How do you know it's not Gabrielle?
I don't know. I kind of looked quickly. If I said it wrong, I apologize.
That's funny.
Yeah. Sorry. I looked real quickly there. So yes, please send me the your contact info, and I will get that off to David so he can get those off to you.
Kenneth, you're a day late and $1 short there.
He might be a few minutes behind on the live playback.
Oh yeah.
All right. So what were we talking about? McDonald's
layout. And to Steve's comment, yes, it's gone. And the reason it's gone is because it's now in my shop.
It's now in the shop. All right, let me share the right screen here again, and I'll put some pictures up here. Let's see.
So, I mean, from what I remember in the, it was in an LGB video at one point.
Correct.
The owner was into LGB, and I guess he just decided to put it in the.
So the story I've heard, the owner was by the name of Peter Horner, was the owner of that McDonald's, and he couldn't put a train at his house for whatever reason, so he decided to put one in the restaurant.
Right.
LGB got involved. This was 1988.
Yeah, they made the LGB McDonald's boxcar and all that. Yeah.
Yep. There it is.
Let's see.
So that's in your shop now?
That's yeah.
This is at these pictures are at the McDonald's.
Yeah,
correct. These pictures are at the McDonald's. So for about 6 years, I got wind that pre-COVID 6 years, got wind that McDonald's was up for remodeling. And when McDonald's remodels, they usually tear the restaurants down. So I started working on saving it, because I was talking to Ron Gibson from LGB of America at that time and a couple other individuals. I don't know what that guy's doing there in front. He looks like he's out.
he's like I'm in train overload.
Yeah,
there was a good amount of overhead track in there.
There was 2 or 3 tracks on the overhead as well, and then there was a cog layout that went from a counter over to the left up to the ceiling as well.
Oh, nice.
So I got wind that it was going to get bulldozed, basically, and was able to make a deal with the owner. Did my research, knew it went into the McDonald's in 4 pieces through the door, so I knew I could get it out, except for the fact it was glued together with ketchup at that point.
Glued together with ketchup.
So somewhere there's a picture of me bringing it home.
I believe that is this picture here.
So that is in my race car trailer. Coming home.
You have a race car too?
Yeah.
Oh man. Go carry on. Yeah.
Yeah. So what Lawrence said is, yes, there was McDonald's did make 10 box cars that were close to the ones that they released to the public, but it said in commemoration of the Buena Park McDonald's 1988 as well. So, and then you should have a picture of it kind of set up.
So what are your plans for this layout? What is this?
Restoring it, taking it back to its beauty of what it was. There it is on temporary legs in my shop.
So was the layout designed in components to come apart, or did you actually have to cut everything apart?
So I had to cut it apart, but I was able to talk to the guy that built it, and I knew he made it in his garage and transported it to the McDonald's in 4 pieces. So I knew it went in as 4 pieces, so I knew I could get it out in 4 pieces.
That's impressive. That was in a McDonald's. I've seen plenty of, restaurants and stuff that have overhead trains, but none that have a full blown layout.
And like those other people, one side was the counter and where you ordered, and one side was seating where you could sit, and there's taking it out.
Ah, okay. Yeah, there's the seating I see right there.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
That was cool that you were able to get it and save it.
Like Russ just said, I mean, in my mind, at least in Northern California, that is a piece of LGB history, train history. We can't guess how many hundreds of thousands, millions of people have looked at it over the 35 years that it was in place.
Yeah.
Or how many people saw it and then went out and bought a LGB starter set because of it.
Yeah, it's cool. I wonder whatever happened to the layouts that were in LGB of America.
So the upstairs layout was sold to John Lasseter. which is Pixar. Is that the one you're talking about?
Well, I know there was one that was big, and one was like a German side, and the other side.
So there was a layout upstairs that was half German, half American, that was built at the factory in Germany, and shipped over, assembled in LGB of America, and John Lasseter, like I said, from Pixar/Disney, purchased it. He also has the Marie E, which is the sister engine to Ward Kimball's Chloe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Russ, please.
Well, I guess being out there, you guys got a lot of that history. You know a lot of the goings on there.
Mikey's wanting to know if you're McLovin it, Matt.
What sauce are we using?
So, like I said, besides restoring it, do you have plans for this to go somewhere, or is it just gonna?
No, I'm gonna restore it. I've joked with that it needs to be able to be viewed by the public again. So once I get it cleaned up, get the dirt off of it, because those mountains in this picture are reddish brown and they're covered with some kind of black sooty stuff that we're not even sure what it is. That it will be put back to its former glory. I'm in talk with the guy that built it. He built 5 layouts for 5 different retail establishments. This is the only one that's left.
Wow.
So it will get a proper base with display cabinets under it to display other bits of my collection, and it will be showed the respect, I should say, as it deserves.
That's cool. Well, I didn't know if you were getting it to, try and put it somewhere, or if it was just
the goal. Yes. I mean, it's a nice size layout. It's only about 5-6 feet wide. It's kind of a boomerang shape. So it could fit in a lot of different applications, but I was just more saving it from the bulldozer at this point.
Yep.
It's nice to see that, because there's a lot of layouts that just disappear into the ether eventually.
And like I said, who knows how many people have seen this one? Who knows how many people have got into the hobby because of this layout? And that's part of the reason, back to why I'm in charge of the convention, is it's a matter of getting more people into it and to help promote the hobby. And this did it for 35 years.
Yeah. That's incredible. That is very cool.
I think you should open your own restaurant and build it into the restaurant. Wait, you have your own restaurant already?
No, I can't cook.
Larry Otis
I know how to do is
about
make
you having a jet earlier. Yes, I know. You don't need more projects. I understand.
No.
I know the feeling. Got too many projects as it is now. And Andrew gets me more.
So, I mean, and that's part of, back to a little bit convention talk, why we're trying to keep the prices down as much as we can, is to try to get the most people to come to help promote the hobby and give back.
Yeah. That's nice. What's that?
So that is a booth that I built. It was at NGRC last year. We built it. I built it to fit into a 10x10 home and garden show booth. To start to do home and garden shows. So it has a Lupa track on the bottom where last year's convention car was, and it has a Lupa track on the top if you can scroll down. Do you have any more up in that picture? Or is that it, Andrew?
There you go.
So there's an overhead on the top and there's a Lupa track on the bottom to help draw people in, again, to help promote the hobby. Early registration cutoff, Jim. Right now we're saying it's the end of March, but because the prices are so low anyways, we don't even know if we're going to go back up with them. But right now it says it's the end of March.
Who made the cab forward that's in the background there?
So that is a 122.5 standard gauge cab forward.
122.5.
Scratch your head on that one.
Yeah.
So it uses 45 millimeter G scale track as 36-inch narrow gauge. So that's 57 millimeter, whatever it is. It's all wood also.
What?
The engine's all wood?
That cab forward's all wood.
Get out of here. Wow.
No.
Huh. I mean, I shouldn't find that unbelievable because there is over near me, there's a place called the Werther's Museum, and the guy hand carved and built a whole bunch of models that are about G-scale-ish size that are on display there. Interesting place.
So, but yeah, there's the bottom loop.
So what we need to do is get more into these garden centers and, show people that.
Which is what we had found here is, I don't want to say train shows are dying because that's not what I'm trying to promote, but it's the same group of people at every train show.
You have to get new people in.
Huh?
You have to get new people in.
Yeah, and
they're not getting exposed to it.
Right. So once we started doing home and garden shows, and home shows and all that stuff with this, that granted, it just fits in a 10x10 booth, 2 operating trains, TVs with pictures, waterfall. It shows what Garden Railway is, because nothing against modulars, nothing against the Wandering Railway, but that's more model railroading, not garden railroading.
I think Larry said adult entertainment wrong. He means
adult.
I
saw that and I was trying my best at ignoring it.
I think he meant senior living, adult senior living.
Oh, is that what he meant?
Yeah.
Not the one with exercise poles?
No, not that one. I don't know if Larry would know what to do in that.
So, yes, Larry, LGBT of America, I've actually had that conversation with Ron Gibson before, kind of like how Lionel does Lionel stores. It just never took off. So
Lionel stores really never took off. I mean, they were back in the 50s.
There's still a couple of them out there, aren't there?
I don't really know.
What are they?
Lionel True Retail Stores.
Oh, gosh.
I thought there was one in some mall in like Pennsylvania or something.
There was that one company that tried the Greatest Train Store, or
there was one over here in the
store.
mall for a while, and I don't know if that lasted a year.
Oh, the prices were.
Well, yeah. Well, they were reflective of being in, a high rent area.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to search for Lionel Retail Store, and I've got one on Concord Mills Boulevard in Concord, North Carolina. It says open on Monday.
The Concord Mills Mall, 2 Rail Nation just posted that one.
And one in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Just looking to see. It's the only one that's popped up so far, but I didn't even realize that was a thing.
One in Nashville.
I want to know where the 4-track RR retail store is at.
It's right here. It's on the other side of this wall.
Yeah, so no, we built that to help diversify into other shows than just your standard train shows that have been around for 100 years the same way they are. And we're getting more response from home and garden shows with new members than we did from train shows. I
mean, that's something I thought of a while back, was like, all the home and garden shows, and, there's a ton of people that probably go to those that would walk in and see a garden railroad and be blown away because they didn't even realize that was a thing.
And that's exactly what we're running into, which is part of the reason why I put the overhead on the top of those posts, because I've got some people that are like, oh, I could put one of those in my son's bedroom or something like that. And at the end of the day, it's just another train in somebody else's hand.
So how much work is it to actually set that booth up then?
2 hours. It's quick. I did design that one to be quick.
I mean, that ain't too bad. A couple hours to set that up.
So is that like foam block on the bottom or something?
So it's plastic retaining wall, 4-foot sections on the bottom where those cafe tables are, whatever you want to put them, are on top of steel legs that the wood 4x4s slide into, and then the overhead slides on top of that. So it's basically all gravity.
That's cool.
And then if you go to the second picture of it,
you would think
the track is all on a plywood base with legs that then you just fill with foam and rock and plants. And the reason we raised it up is all the plants are still in their pots.
In the pots? Okay.
And then side note, those trees on each side of the waterfall and the one on the back left are actually fake trees that were made by that guy that may do a clinic at the convention. Those aren't even real trees.
Ah.
I was saying that you would think like LGB and Pico or, they would be doing this to promote the hobby.
So Ron, I don't want to say what seeded this idea was Ron Gibson, former head of LGB of America. He built a display similar to this for a home and garden show. It fit on 2 banquet tables, and on the left side, it was track running on carpet with a Christmas tree, and then it ran through a little 12-inch tall fence, and on the right side, it was the same train running through a garden idea to help say inside outside kind of thing. And that's what kind of triggered the idea.
That's what I kind of think we need more of, to boost the hobby.
Start building it, Nico.
He'll have it done by tomorrow.
If I had a place to keep it, that would be
that's the main problem we all have. Hey, wait a minute. I got a friend that has a storage business. I bet you I could work a deal out. He's probably watching.
Yeah, I think he's on here.
But I mean, it doesn't have to be a lot. With Amherst, with that big green modular, Del Oro with their 100 by 100 modular, you don't need to break your back and spend 8 hours setting up a modular when something like this can do the same job in a different setting in a smaller package.
Yeah, well, I'm saying for a garden show or something like that, that's all you need is something to, set it down and you can talk to people and, hey, what's that? Why is this here? Kind of thing.
And you pick reliable engines that run in a circle. You don't have to deal with derailments all day long.
Yep.
And what's nice about this too is it shows people that you can do G gauge and you don't have to have a huge area for it. You know, I mean, you can do it in any size, whatever size area you have, and have fun with it. And I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I think 99.9% of the stuff LGB makes all runs on 4-foot diameter curves.
Well, their claim to fame is every locomotive they've ever made will run on R1.
Yeah. Now whether it looks good doing it or not is another question, but you can run some pretty big locomotives on R1 curves.
Yeah, and the other thing we found out is a lot of these home and garden shows will give a vendor booth to a nonprofit. So we're not having to pay for the vendor booth.
But I believe as long as you're not selling anything, they usually consider you an exhibitor.
Well, at least for out here, even exhibitors have to pay, because even if you're alluding with websites or something to buy the product, they are still considering it selling, even though there's not a transfer of funds taking place.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess to me, exhibitor is like, a club or someone that's promoting, not so much selling or making a product, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
I see Bill Lynn. Oops, sorry. Did you just click on something there, Nico?
I was just saying, Mary Jean said that she came through to model railroads through gardens. And there's a lot of interest in that sector. I've also heard about it with people that have ponds, same thing.
One of my biggest things with the layout of my backyard, and I thought I had sent more pictures, but I guess I didn't. But it's been on GR News before. It's one of the profile pictures of one of the Facebook groups right now. I call my layout a layout in the garden, not a garden railway, because I don't have buildings. I don't have any of that stuff, because I want to be able to look out my kitchen window and not see that there's a layout out there. Nothing against those layouts. I just rather go with the layout in the garden approach.
Oh, speaking of the York layout, there's Mr. Russell.
Yep.
Actually, I think Turk's off on that. He did it every year, including COVID, because I'm pretty sure in 2020 they put one together. In wasn't Annapolis. Timonian is where the show was at that year.
Oh, that was the first year it moved over.
I thought Matt was making hand signals at me for a moment. I forgot he's somebody else there with him. Hey, Philadelphia Flower Show.
Yeah, and I mean, we used to do the San Francisco Flower Show that was in Sacramento, and I know the baggers, Russ, will say the same thing. They used to do the San Francisco Flower Show, and they also did some at an observatory as well. So, I mean, there is other avenues to promote this hobby than just train shows.
I find Larry's comment there kind of interesting, though. He said the Boston Flower and Garden Show forbid any more displays with garden railroads.
So I ran into that a little bit with one of the home and garden shows in the area that was trying to get rid of like chiropractors and some of those other non-home and garden show type vendors. And once she originally pushed back, and then after explaining, sending pictures, giving the sales peak speech, they ended up loosening up.
You know what though? Like, I don't like, the bath fitters and basement waterproofing, but I think I'd be a chiropractor to show. I could use that.
But they aren't adjusting you. They're just saying to come in on Monday for a free consultation.
After you carry a few loads of G gauge out, you could use an adjustment.
Maybe it was just Larry. Maybe that's why they kicked him out.
No, the nice thing, Larry, with the cutlery is usually they have free samples. It's the free samples that go with the cutlery that I'm after.
Let's see. Greg says our club does the county fair every year.
How many days do you do? Are you talking about San Diego, Greg? Is that Greg from San Diego, I'm guessing?
I'm not sure where Greg is from.
He's from the USA. It says Greg USA.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's Greg from San Diego, and that's the club he's talking about. But that's the other thing. We have done the California State Fair a couple of times. We have done fairs in the past, but they run 10 days to 2 weeks. So
yeah,
I'm already having a hard enough time getting manpower, especially when it runs till 11 o'clock at night sometimes because of the fireworks shows and whatever else.
Yeah, getting people, unless you're going to devote all your own time to it and have no life, it can be tough getting people to man that stuff.
Yep, I thought that was who that was, Greg. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Now I know who it is too, yeah.
I kind of figured that's what Greg E in USA was, but, now we know.
And no, they do a great job down there. I follow them, great pictures, but, yeah. Well, and then, there's Pomona and Fairplex also. That they're their own club, so that's how they can pull that off.
Oh yeah, Fairplex. I've seen that online several times.
That's a pretty big layout too.
Mm-hmm.
The NM, what does that say?
NMRA club sets up G-scale trains in Boston.
I think I need new glasses again. I can't read.
Boston Museum of Science.
So, just to circle back to the convention quickly, website's open, registration's open. We are doing singles, individual families, as well as a bundle that includes the banquet, the ice cream social, convention car, for a price break on that. So, if you're planning to attend, registration's open. If you want bus tours, let us know. Those prices should be coming. I don't want to say next week, but we are working now that we have an idea of head count for buses to be able to give accurate prices for buses.
Makes me want to fly out to Sacramento.
June 18th through the 22nd, Russ.
Very nicely laid out website, straight and to the point.
And we tried to keep it simple because that was one of the things that I've heard on previous conventions is it's too confusing, and just keep it simple. Clinic schedule will be updated. Vendor hall will be updated.
See, they have a modeling contest. It's right on the front page.
We are doing a modeling contest.
Yeah.
It is easy to find on the website as well.
Yeah, unlike ours.
And Melinda and Steve are doing the youth clinics as well from Making Trains Fun, which I believe you guys are doing at your show as well.
Yes, yeah, they'll be here. Now, I believe you said you're doing a kids modeling contest at yours. I don't think that's something we're going to do at ours just because of the shorter time period of
But
our
you're
show.
doing the youth clinics, though.
Yeah, we're doing the youth clinics. We're just not doing the modeling contest. With the longer time span of your convention and that, it makes sense. But it feels like it'd be kind of rushed for us to try and do that. But yeah, they're going to do. I think
We're not doing it yet.
doing what yet?
The youth modeling contest.
Oh,
And yes,
yeah. What Nico said, we'll go with yet.
yes, Rick, you can buy the engine without attending. You can order it on the website. Once they're here and we know pricing to its destination, we can be in touch with you. 1 or 2 days for pre and post. Still to be determined because we aren't sure which directions. If you go down 5, similar to what you guys did, Russ, it may be 2. If you're going up to Reno, it may be 1. So it's my pre and posts. I also got Redwood Empire. So my pre and post may be a little different depending on which direction you are going home in. And to Jim's comment, like 4 down, Reno has been a very popular one for pre and post. Holly McLean from Train Lee, if you Google Train Lee TV on YouTube, has a fantastic G-scale layout up there that is willing to be open as well.
I guess I'll answer this question. I do want to specify, as Kyle asked this question, I don't want people getting confused because we're talking about Matt's NGRC. Kyle's asking a question about the Great Lakes Large Scale Train Expo, wanting to know if there's going to be 3D scan people there. And to answer your question,
look like me?
Yeah, right there. So yeah, we will have a vendor there that will scan you, and you can buy a 3D printed figure of yourself.
It is very cool. We did that up in Massachusetts.
That's where that one came from. And I've talked to them a little bit. There's also a brick and mortar establishment, I don't know, 45 minutes away from the vendor hall that I have talked to about if they want to work with us, if they want to bring their materials to the convention hall, how that would work now that they've gone from mobile to be brick and mortar. It's a little hard to figure out on that one if we're going to have a 3D scanning option or not.
I can't at the very second. Well, it was on my vendors list, I think. The one we have coming, it's actually kind of a franchise setup that's all over the U.S., and everything's actually contained in a trailer. Like, they don't have to set stuff up.
If you want to send me that information when you get a chance, Andrew, that would be great.
Yeah, I'm looking for it now so I don't forget. So I know I got it here.
John Molesworth said there was a different one at Springfield this weekend.
At Springfield, I'm guessing it was probably Bernard from Mini Prints, if I had to guess, because I know he was there last year. If that's who he's thinking of.
That's not the guy that was at the G-Scale show.
No, G-Scale show was... I'm going to get it wrong now. Was it like Figure Fusion or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was literally just trying to look up the email from that one right now. That sounds right.
Shrunk 3D is the name of the one that's coming to ours. If you want to write that down, Matt.
What was it?
Shrunk 3D. It's shrunk3d.com. And if you go to their website, they have a locations tab. They've actually got 52 franchise locations. You can zoom in on their map. Looks like California has a few.
And to answer your question, Greg, yeah, I guess you could call it the Train Lee layout. It's one of the owners. It's the Alpine and Southwestern on YouTube, as well as the Train Lee TV layout. I'm guessing that's the one you're referring to.
Is that indoor or outdoor?
It's outdoor.
Okay.
You'll have to forgive me for asking such a dumb question, Matt, but how far is Sacramento from San Diego?
8 hours?
Okay. North or south from San Diego?
North.
North. Okay.
7 hours and 26 minutes from where I'm sitting.
Okay. It looks like Los Angeles and San Diego is where they have some franchises. Well, actually, further north in San Jose and
that's headed in my direction.
North Bay, San Francisco. It looks like is the farthest north one they have.
Do they have anything in Nevada?
Yeah, Las Vegas.
Oh, okay. Not right into Las Vegas. Not right into Nevada.
But yeah, their setup's kind of neat because
and as Larry said, I didn't want to say it. I was going to let somebody else say it. If you go any south of San Diego, you're in Mexico.
I've learned that if someone doesn't say it, Larry's gonna. So,
and yeah.
Oh, really? I see. Mini Prince didn't offer G scale. Really interesting.
Well, that makes no sense. It's just scaling a figure.
I thought that he did. Okay.
Maybe he couldn't print the height. That maybe his printer doesn't go.
Now I know like the difference. Like unless Mini Prince changed since the last time I looked. His stuff isn't actually printed in color. He prints it and then actually paints this stuff as to where
this guy's printed in color.
Yeah, printed in color, which is rather impressive that that's even a thing.
Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, you can even see like the tattoos on people's arms, and
I was gonna say you could see the Wrangler tag on my jeans.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on, let me make that bigger. No, seriously, I want to see that.
Come on, put your butt on the screen.
You can see the Wrangler tag on the jeans.
We'll go to a larger. Come on now.
Come on. Andrew.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, it was amazing. Like my one friend that got scanned, you could see his tattoos on his arms. You could kind of see the hair on my arms.
Colin got scanned too, but we're not allowed to show that figure.
Well, yeah, Colin didn't keep it PC.
He was telling everybody they were number one.
Yeah, that's what they were doing.
Oh, hey, speaking of that guy.
Hey, there he is.
Yeah.
It's about time you showed up.
He figured it out when you didn't answer the phone.
He was busy trying to call you. He couldn't get it on the show.
He's like, oh, I'm just calling you back. Oh, bleep, you're live right now. Yes, Colin, I'm live.
Yeah, I couldn't believe how well those came out.
No, and I mean down to the convention logo on the chest.
Yeah.
To the convention logo on the chest.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, I was wearing a 4-track shirt. You could see that. You see it on the back. I mean, Vinny had on a hoodie with the American flag on the back. That all came out.
Yeah, I had on one of the large scale live shirts with a locomotive on the front, and you could read that plain as day too on there. It was it's pretty nice.
So are there?
I'm usually like this because I'm like confused.
Yeah.
Are there any other convention related questions anybody has? You guys have?
Where's the free lodging?
Well, this is Sacramento, and there's a lot of that up and down in certain areas already. We're just trying to avoid those areas.
Oh, okay. Can I bring my own tent?
The governor provides them.
Oh, even better.
Oh boy. Yes. I see Steve Heavyside staying at Matt's place. You got a big place, Matt?
I feel like I have an RV park sometimes, but yeah. I don't know what the temperatures are going to be, Russ. It's June in Sacramento. So, I mean, hopefully it won't be 100 degrees yet, which is why we didn't do July, and we did early to mid-June.
Yeah, July, August, those would be great months.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's a coin flip. It could be perfect. It could be starting to get toasty, but we're trying to play the better side of that equation by doing it in June.
You guys don't have a ton of rain up there either, right?
Not that time of year, no.
That's good.
Oh, okay. I'm going to go with John here. Will the governor give me money to buy trains too?
I'm not going that way.
Hey, I'm all about anybody that wants to give me money to buy trains. Well, there's something I got to watch which comments I'm clicking on here. They're getting spicy. Let's see.
Can I sleep in the bed of your pickup truck? Is there a cap on it?
No.
Oh my.
All righty.
No problem, Russ. Yeah, that was one of the things. I mean, between temperature, holidays, they've done it over the 4th of July for the last 3 or 4 conventions, and it's worked great. We just wanted to hopefully be able to get more attendees there by not doing it over the holiday weekend, and by hopefully having a little cooler weather. So we'll see if we're right or not.
When was the last time that you guys did the
2003.
Okay.
So I was having this discussion with somebody a couple months ago saying, how come no new clubs will do conventions? And they keep going back to the old ones. And I said, well, if you're a club and you want to do a convention, raise your hand and do one. But since it's been 21 years, 22 years since we've done a convention, I think when I was going through laying out our layout lists, I think there's one layout on our current lists that were on it in 2003.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like when you go back through, even sometimes I'll look back at a Garden Railways magazine, like, yep, that company's gone. Up, that place is out of business. Up, they're gone. Up, they're gone.
Which is kind of what I was doing to help put together more of a vendor list. Yes, Russ, only one. There is only one person that was open in 03 that is going to be open with the same layout in 2023. We have a couple of people that have moved and built new layouts, but there is only one from 03 that will be back open in 23.
How about like vendors? I mean, have you seen a lot of vendors that are changed or gone or?
Oh, absolutely. I went through our program from 03 in St. Albans. I mean, I could go Aristo, Heartland. I mean, you could go on and on. You know it just as good as anybody, Nico. But there's also been a growth of new vendors, mom and pop type 3D printing, the figure done. I mean, those weren't around 20 years ago.
Yeah.
There weren't people making figures. Yes, you had just plain folks that don't exist. So, I mean, I don't want to say it's evened out, but I mean, Bridgeworks is still around. LGB is still around. Hans from Gold Coast Station is still around. So it's evening itself out. But I mean, the big shots, St. Albans, I mean, Train World, Watts. I mean, some of them are still around. They've just changed with the times.
Watts is still around, or they're completely gone?
I heard they were still around in one form or another. I could be wrong, but
yeah, they were a big seller back in the day.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's like I said, I go through and I don't even remember some of them. And you're mentioning them now. I'm like, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know there were several manufacturers that did like a lot of I know they did some engines and cars and that, but they were mainly like resin molded, if I remember correctly.
Barry's Big Shop. I mean,
Great
you have
Train.
Ozark Miniatures, Trackside Details.
Great Trains.
Yeah,
Great Trains, yes.
I mean,
There's a bunch of companies that made those little wood kits.
Yep. Bridgemasters, even though Bridgemasters is still around, they don't make the wood bridges anymore. They're just buying and selling estates. I mean, the amount of companies or individuals that just buy and sell estates has gone through the roof.
Yeah.
So that's what Larry said. Somebody bought them and opened it with their inventory or something. Oh, yeah. Some coupler guy out of like the Bay Area is supposed to be there.
I'd probably put a couple of security guards on him and watch him.
I heard he just bought a case of hook and loop couplers. I don't know why.
Adapting to market demand, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, finally.
Ridge Road Station.
Ridge Road Station. That's another one.
Huh.
Yes, Colin, are you going?
Are you coming, Greg? That's the better question.
We'll all wait for an answer. Everybody stare at their screens.
It's the moment we've been waiting for.
Can we put like the hourglass like dripping down while we're waiting?
Yeah, I need to get some good on-screen overlay effects.
I like the Christmas one you had going. That was cool.
But I mean, RLD, I mean, Robbie says he's fine staying out at home, which is great. Reindeer Pass is now changed owners. They were there last year. He doesn't think he's going to come back this year.
You said Robbie is coming or isn't?
He's
coming?
not.
He's not.
Chris Dixon is talking about it. So I get it. I understand when you're selling stuff online, you can do it all from the comfort of your house and not have to pay the fuel, the time, the gas, the food, and all the other overhead.
Yeah, the landscape has definitely changed over the years.
Well, the internet changed a lot of things too, you know. I mean, more and more sales over the internet.
You can buy an LGB starter set on Amazon and have it at your door tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, there's some people just like, you know, Robbie, where he does his own open house twice a year.
Yep.
You know, I mean, so.
But like,
you know.
like Steve says, you can't get the personal interaction online. You can't see the new items. You can't touch and feel the stuff.
You are correct.
There is something about an in-person convention, and my big thing that makes a convention and not a train show are the manufacturers, the new releases, the products that are coming soon. If the manufacturers aren't there, it's just another train show.
Yeah, and I think the thing you run into a little bit too with the manufacturers is, you know, a lot of them are multi-scale, and as you said, you know, you're letting them, you know, include that stuff. But if they have to make a choice between, you know, something specific to, you know, G gauge or larger or an all-scale show, obviously they're going to get more exposure than an all-scale show.
Yep. Well, that's kind of interesting.
What's
so
that?
Train World used to, you know, have an area. And he said just had a booth with flyers and 10% all coupons. So they're not even bringing stock there anymore.
Is this at Amherst?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been the Railroad Hobby Show this year, this weekend.
So, I mean, they used to have a pretty decent size area.
Which is the one thing that I'm hearing, and why for a lot of conventions, it's been $400 for the first booth, and then every additional booth is $200 or whatever the prices were. We figured out what the medium is and made all the booths the same cost across the board, because one of the biggest complaints I had were people that only wanted one booth didn't want to do that initial booth price when every other booth after that would start making a discount, which is great for 5, 6, 8 booths and the big guys, but not the mom and pop guys that just wanted one booth.
Yeah.
Like Nico, when he brings his inventory to sell, he just wants one booth.
I had 7 tables up in Ohio. I mean, up in Massachusetts.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think you had about that in Ohio too last year, if I remember correctly.
But I mean, more and more people are like, I have some artists that are coming to sell their train paintings, and they just want one booth.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, some of those are pretty nice.
Too bad it's got Conrail engines in it.
Yeah. MDS, if you want to highlight MDS's question, because Andrew brought that up at the beginning of the show.
Oh, the pricing on them? Yeah.
I'm guessing they're going to be the same as the last release, would be my guess. Did the ad have an MSRP?
Usually the first place I find them is Robbie will have them listed for pre-order. So I'm going to his site now to look and see if maybe he's got them listed already, but they just announced them. So I'm thinking he probably does not. No, he does not have anything for Dash 9s on his website right now. So,
well, there's so much out there. There's so little people doing it, you know.
And working with AccuCraft, because I've done some R&D and some development stuff with AccuCraft and some new stuff that's coming out AML wise. Just the cost of molds and the cost of engineering new products is through the roof these days. And the amount of volume you need to sell in order to break even is ridiculous. So you're just going to see a bunch of repaints like Aristo's doing with the Dash 9s.
Yeah.
Bachman.
Or Bachman.
It's okay. I do the same thing. I do this. It's hard to not do that. I was looking to see. Oh, CSX blue.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on which manufacturer did the blue. Because it definitely across all the different manufacturers, the shades are not always the same.
I guess you're right, Larry. It is Cater all across the board. So
yeah, when Larry's right, Larry's right.
Is USA at Cater now, or are they somewhere else?
I do not believe they are.
No, they've jumped around a couple of times, but yeah, it's Cater owned Bachman, I believe. I can't remember which way it went, Greg, but
Cater owns Bachman.
That's what I thought.
Basically they're both owned by the same investment group.
Answer a question Andrew B had about East Coast large scale train show for 2025. I have not heard anything on that yet.
No, I haven't heard anything.
If I do, I will definitely put it up on the website.
They haven't announced any.
Yeah, I looked the other day and I have not seen anything on their website or their Facebook. So that I have no info on at the moment. George is a former employee of aristo-craft.
Yes.
What? No, he's former employees of Aristocrat.
I imagine probably autocorrect got him.
Yeah. Well, it's all the artwork, and the plates to paint them. That's the all the masking, because they make copper masks. They don't,
Which is part of the issue with that. I mean, yes, the logo's decals, and decals are being used more and more if they're done right. But a pad for pad printing, I can't remember what they said, $50, $100 just for a pad, and however many pads go into an engine.
Well, yeah, and those pads got to be pretty precise so you don't get bleed or anything when they
pad printing.
Pad printing. That's not a spray mask pad printing.
Yeah. Pad printing's pretty precise.
Although I will say when I see Nico's stuff that he does the vinyl masks to spray his graphics on rather than using decals. I do like the pad printing or what Nico does over decals.
Yeah, I don't have any behind me, but that's what I've been doing a lot of lately on my custom stuff is cut the reverse out of vinyl, stick it on, paint it, and peel it off.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really nice and clean. You don't got the decal film to mess with or the decal tearing or twisting around.
Yeah, I mean you can't get the detail you can on a decal, but
for Rio Grande on the side of a tender that's just white over black, it's perfect.
Yeah.
If you're talking like, a small like data card or something, that's going to need to be a decal, but
yep.
Until, we get stuff that can cut out vinyl that precisely.
Well, as you see, LGB has that one printer. It actually prints right on the side of the car.
Train Lee and Pico has those also. Train Lee is the only one that I know that you can supply something and they will do custom printing on rolling stock cars, stuff like that.
Yep.
But they're starting to come out here, but it's still not affordable for the modeler.
Yeah, I mean it's a big format printer, but yeah, they're putting the graphics. Like I think it was one of the Glacier cars or something. They were laying the graphics. There was a video of it.
Mm-hmm. I'll have to find that.
But that's how like Pico's doing the Warbird hoppers and all those other specialty cars Pico's rolled out.
Really? Because I have one of those hoppers here, and the graphics are really nice on that.
They're printed.
Interesting.
One color at a time.
coloring inside the lines is definitely what you need to do.
Yeah, Hawley has it at Trainlee.
Yep.
I lost my mouse. There we go.
Yeah. So no, I bought a LGB Mikado from them a handful of years ago, and they printed right on the side of the black undecorated tender.
Wow. Well, we're getting close to the end of our stream here. I just want to mention to folks, if there's some burning question you've had for Matt, type it in there now so you can ask away.
Or NGRC2025@yahoo.com is another way that you can get a hold of me.
Let's see. What was that email again?
NGRC2025@yahoo.
Because I will put that up on the screen right now. Does that look correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, yeah. So if you weren't able to ask Matt your question, or your name's Larry Otis and it's a more personal question, you can go ahead and email Matt.
Email Matt directly.
Yeah.
And then just Ken was saying that they're hosting the 2027 convention in Tennessee.
Yep.
Wait, 2027. Are we skipping over a year?
Wow. We don't know. It's supposed to be in Amherst in 26. Nobody has been able to confirm anything. That's the rumors, but there is no.
We can't confirm or deny.
Yes.
And no question, just a comment from Steve Heavyside there.
Thank you, Steve.
Yes, you're doing a very great job, Matt, and appreciate you coming on the show. And
I appreciate you
nice
guys doing what you do and giving us the platform to promote this stuff.
It was nice meeting you and your father last year in Massachusetts, and hopefully we'll get to see each other again. Let me see. Let me see.
Were you at Amherst this year, Larry? By any chance this weekend?
Larry
was there.
Did John have anything to say about Massachusetts in 26?
I believe I messaged Larry earlier, and I don't know if I got an answer from him on that or not.
I got a yes.
He says yes.
Guess what?
So yes, there will be swag. Whoever said that, Bill. We are working on that. Not sure if they're going to be on the website or just be available at the convention, but there will be hats, shirts, anything else that somebody wants to buy.
Larry says,
I didn't speak to him directly.
Oh, okay.
Is that Yeti? Is that Yetish?
Yeah, Yetish. Yetish. I'll just stick that up there for folks so they know that the next live stream will be February 23rd at 7 p.m.
Oh, let me write that down.
I like Mark's comment.
Let's see. What was Mark's comment? Mark Bartle?
We did.
Mm-hmm.
We interviewed Larry last year in Massachusetts.
Yeah, we had to throw him off the screen because he kept sucking all the air out of the room. And even after he was off screen, he kept doing it. People just can't get enough.
He said Ray from Bachman stated that it will be in Massachusetts. Yeah, but that's we need to hear it from the event organizers.
Yeah, I was just going to say there has been numerous requests for info and dates and so on and so forth from John, and haven't heard anything. So
okay. Well,
wait, there's a question for Matt.
Oh,
has anyone?
Yes. Me.
You made yourself one.
Yeah. Thanks, Rex.
What did you make it out of? A Mikado?
The 484 Pacific, just like Rex did.
Okay.
So I'm making a 2884 Mountain right now out of 2 Aristo Malleys.
Oh, nice. For folks, questions on 2026, unless something changes between now and February 23rd, John Sacerdoti is actually our guest, or one of our guests for next month.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Hopefully we can get an answer straight from the
horse's mouth.
I was going to say the sacerdote's mouth, but yes.
Yeah.
As opposed to the other end of the horse, which is Larry.
You said it.
Yes.
Yes, John should know.
If anybody does, he should.
Yeah.
But there, like I said, there has been numerous requests, emails, phone to John through the last year. So I'm not going to say anything. So right now we know 25's in Sacramento, 27's in Nashville.
We don't want to do hearsay, so let's get it right from the direct information. Yep, exactly.
I know you know where I live at, Larry. The wife would love if you came and visited.
So Colin keeps texting me saying, see my comment, and I don't see a single comment from Colin.
I got no clue what I haven't seen a comment from him pop up.
There was one a while ago.
If Colin's trying to put a comment up that has a link in it.
It's right here. Thank you, Matt, for making the 2025 NGRC happen. You are truly furthering our hobby. And
I see our friend Manimal said he just returned from the Railroad Hobby Show, and he says Amherst is looking for sponsors.
So am I.
What?
Isn't everybody?
You know, I mean, Larry needs a sponsor, and no one wants to do it. So,
just 70 cents a day, you could sponsor. You too could sponsor.
Just call this number.
A G-Scale hobbyist.
All right. Well,
is 70 cents a day enough to sponsor G-Scale hobbyist?
Probably not, but that's the number that came into my head.
Oh, and I guess real quick, I believe that.
So if you put Manimal's comment together, it says, I just returned from RHS.
Oh.
Word is Amherst is looking for sponsors for the 2026 convention.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have to have sponsorship to have a convention?
No.
No.
Well, no, but I imagine it probably helps with the cost of it.
Yeah. No.
I think the three of us here all understand the costs of a convention or show.
The worst part's the upfront deposits for everything.
Yep.
Yeah, that can add up.
Andrew's spending money like water over here.
Or water if you're not from New Jersey.
Can't help.
I don't want to see your OnlyFans, Larry. You can leave that to yourself, please.
I don't believe they're actually fans. It's kind of more like,
only.
Well, it's more like, the expression of, it's a train wreck, but you can't help but watch. You can't look away.
It's like a car accident. All right. So, I think we've killed this horse.
Yep. So,
can you elaborate on that comment, Manny, on evidently the clubs that sponsored the last 3 lost money?
Oh, Manimal.
Because I know of one of the last 4 that lost money.
Yeah, I don't know. And that's a tough one for conventions. I mean, if you don't have a good, solid base of clubs, that's a pretty difficult thing to do.
And that's why, I mean, it's awesome that Denver, Baggers, and all these people are repeating every 5-6 years and just shooting them out like clockwork. But I mean, it's not easy.
They're large clubs, though.
Yep.
I mean, Ohio, there's 5 or 6 clubs that are here, but they're at least 2 of them are decent size, but nowhere near the size of the clubs you have, I believe.
No, and like Jim's right. I know that one made money for sure, and that was 2019.
Yeah, in 2020 there wasn't one. That was supposed to be Nashville, and it got postponed.
Correct. 2020, 2021 was Nashville. 22 was Denver. 23 was Baggers, and then we're 25.
I was at the one in Nashville.
Well, the problem, Philip, with not spending more money than you make is a lot of it you got to spend it before you know what you're going to make.
And that's like that's not why I'm like asking people to register, because I know it will come, but it's a matter of we have to spend the money for the deposits. It would always help.
Hey, it's the same thing here. I mean, the money that's coming in from the vendors that are paying to come is going to pay for the venue. I mean, unless, you're loaded and you got tons of money just laying around. I mean, it's a give and take. Oh, I see Dan responded to you there.
So he's just saying what he was told. That's it.
Okay.
Yep.
That's fine. And I understand all of that. I mean, like I said,
you just said, Russ, and you just hit the nail right on the head. It all depends on your attendance. It's all about attendance.
It does.
The one thing you can't control. You can just make it more acceptable for more people to come, or more pleasing for more people to come.
Well, I mean, we get the vendors out there, then we don't have the attendance. The vendors aren't going to come the next year. It's.
Well, and that's why, like with ours, people have probably seen paid advertising out there for it. And I've got other advertising and stuff that I'm going to do because, we got a lot of vendors coming, but, if they don't do well, they're not going to want to come back again. So it's not only vendors, it's getting the people there too. And, whether it's our show, Matt's, the convention he's doing, or any other show, I tell all of you, it obviously, within reason, but go to these events. I mean, there's nothing like getting together with a bunch of other people that are in the same hobby that you love, meeting them in person. I love going to this stuff just because of the people that are there. The trains are truly secondary. At this point.
It's the social aspect of it.
Yeah.
That's why I go.
Yeah. If you've never been to one of these, go. Please do. You'll see what you're missing.
From Nashville just said, and through a miracle, they made money.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the one everybody was worried about.
Yep.
I see John Molesworth. I think he was asking numbers from the Railroad Hobby Show, and I think what I heard might have been like over 13,000 for Sunday was the attendance.
That's amazing, that show. But again, you go through there, there's really not much
all-scale show. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Russ said it. I didn't want to bring it up, but yes, as far as I know, the only one in the last 5 years that lost anything was Baggers last year, and it was just had to do with poor attendance. And it wasn't even that much. So, and out of the last 5, that's the only one that I know of that lost anything.
Wow.
I got a hard time imagining over 27,000 people into model trains all in one place. Well, obviously all those people weren't there at the same exact time, but
and you're also comparing apples to oranges on that show to a convention, in my mind, where that's an all-scale
100%.
Yeah,
100%. The convention is a completely different animal.
It moves around, where that one's at the same building, the same time every year, and it's coming.
Yep. People make their, schedule their trips around it.
So yeah. Convention wise, I mean, depending on the part of the country that it's in, I mean, and a lot of times too is, I've seen with other stuff too, if conventions are in roughly the same area several times, in a row or close together, there's some people that don't go because they want to go someplace different.
So I was asked once 2024 didn't happen if I would do Sacramento in 24. And I said no, because 23 was the Bay Area. And I knew people wouldn't come back to the West Coast 2 years in a row.
Thank you. Well said, Larry.
And, Kenny brings up another valid point, and I agree with him. I mean, for some people, it's not a feasible thing to do. And I'm not judging anybody that's not able to go, but, if it's just like, it's someone that's just on the fence about going, I tell you go at least once and experience, see what you're missing.
And like I've been preaching, Kenny, we've cut the prices from last year's convention or 2 years ago convention and previous ones significantly to try to help get those people to come, knowing the age group, knowing the group of people we're targeting in this hobby, trying to help any way we can. Clearly, we can't help with air flights, hotels, and that kind of stuff, but at least we're trying on cutting ticket prices.
I mean, you can also do other things. Like we went up 5 of us in my truck last year. You know, it was cramped. It wasn't the best ride, but 5 of us drove all the way up to Massachusetts. That was 15 hours in a truck. You know?
None, Russ. There are no open houses during the Amherst show for G scale.
There was
Not
last year, but
for
the
the Northeast show there was year before last, but the Amherst show right now, I'm not quite sure what the temperatures were, but I'm pretty sure it was below freezing. So,
and that's the other question mark with John and Amherst are just the lack of layouts that are in the geographical area of Amherst. But like we've all said, until we hear it from the horse's mouth, we're not going to say anything.
There was 3 open houses when we went. I don't want to say the people's names, but you know, it was raining, which kind of sucked. I think we went to 2 of them because one was way out of the way, and other one was about an hour drive.
Yeah, and I mean, we've got 8 to 10 layouts on any given day during the layout tour. So, I mean, we've got 30 to 40 layouts. So, and that's the biggest thing, and I'm sure Russ can chime in a little bit. The layouts are almost as big, if not a bigger draw than the convention hall. They all kind of go hand in hand. It's 1A and 1B. I mean, without the layouts, again, there's no convention.
Yeah. That is a nice part of it.
And when you look at the script that has been written all the way back in the day, it's layout tours during the day, clinics in convention hall, and socializing in the evening. That's what a convention's been for the last 40 whatever years.
Yeah, I just went to the one in Nashville. I only went on the weekend. I just had started a new job. I couldn't take off. There is a ton of layouts within a 2-hour drive of West Springfield.
Yeah, 2 hours. One thing you got to keep in mind with those too is like when you're taking people by bus to layouts. I know like the big train operators for their convention, they try to put a limit on how far away they go for things.
And we're doing different quadrants on different days because of that. And I don't think I have my furthest layout isn't 2 hours from the convention center. So I would be great if he would pull it off.
We shall see.
Yeah.
You know, that's all we can say, and we'll see. I mean, John usually kind of functions in blocks of, you know, dealing with the railroad hobby show and then the Northeast show, and so he switches gears and moves along on things. So
yeah, I mean, he was I'm sure he was up to his eyeballs with this show up until now, and now he's gonna finish that off and start getting ready for the G-Scale show.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. Anything last words, Matt, that you needed to relay to anybody? Or
no? If you guys have any questions, shoot me an email. Hope to see everybody there. Hope we have good attendance. Attendance is already rolling in. If you want an engine or a car, you don't have to attend. Are you having open houses twice like a pickup time? I don't know what that means, Jim.
You can send him an email though, Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Send Matt an email and he will answer that for you gladly, I'm sure.
So
So
looking to see everybody, looking to socialize like it's all about, and hope to see everybody here.
All right.
Wonderful.
Have a good one, everyone.
yep, we'll see you next time, everybody. Matt, if you could hang around for a moment after the credits.
Yep.
Okay. Have a good evening, everybody.
Have a good one.